everybody, I'm with Vlad. Vlad likes to say bad shit about people. Vlad, I love Vlad. Vlad, I like Vlad because he make interview get people in trouble. He like to get people in big trouble, especially black people. He does. Vlad is sneaky.
Streetz gotta eat. Streetz gotta eat. Streetz gotta eat. Want to get into this video today, in which Kwame Brown is directly addressing DJ Vlad of Vlad TV. Apparently Kwame posted some references to Gilbert Arenas' interviews on his Instagram page. He added Vlad, and apparently Vlad responded in some fashion. And this prompted Kwame to go ahead and make this video that I'm about to show you, asking Vlad some very pertinent questions, some questions that I've had myself, that I've asked on this channel, my other channel, Dirty Laundry Media. I've also posted some videos highlighting some of Vlad's missteps, if you would have it. And I just want to refer to a couple of things. You know, when Vlad brings these young black men on his channel, particularly the young rappers, up-and-coming rappers, or the established ones, there's a couple of patterns that he follows. He wants to know whether you came from a single-parent household, whether you were raised by a single mom, which is the assumption, a grandmom, but the assumption is always that there was the father was missing in the home, and he's seemingly always surprised if there's a situation where there was a two-parent household. So he hones in on the single-parent household aspect of black culture. He hones in on the missing father, father in prison, father on drugs, whatever the case may be, narrative. You know, he just hones in on that criminal narrative that's permeating the black community, and the one that's projected to the mainstream for the most part. Narrative. It's all about a narrative with these mainstream media outlets. And Vlad is no different. He's on YouTube, but he's definitely a major outlet. So here we have Kwame asking him some very specific questions about his particular line of questioning with these young black men, with his habit of bringing warring factions on the show at different times, usually referring to the other party or some kind of way weaving them into the narrative. And you know, he asked, Kwame really brought up one incident in which he said when Mo 3 was on the show, and feeling himself, Mo 3, who was embroiled in beef at the time, made the statement that nobody was chasing him down and he didn't need security. And in fact, when he met his demise, he was in fact chased down on the highway and gunned down in cold blood. So people might not connect the dots, but when Mo 3 was up there on Vlad in his bravado saying that, hey, nobody's chasing me down, I'm not afraid, you better believe that there was an op who saw that video and possibly got it in his mind that I'm gonna chase this guy down when I see him. So, you know, there is some responsibility, you know, that you have to, or accountability that you have to hold Vlad to. There has to be a standard, and I think that Kwame asked some very pertinent questions some questions that needed to be answered. And hopefully Vlad responds to these questions. If he doesn't respond directly, hopefully this causes a shift in his thinking and the way he moves on his platform. And yeah, I want you guys to hop down in the comment section as you always do and let me know what you think. Smash that like, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted whenever I drop a new video. This your man online. Thanks for tuning in to the Streetz, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
But I just want to reiterate what I said on my last live, because I think YouTube may have played a part in breaking that live up. And I think I asked Vlad TV some very good questions, and I think it broke up at the last second. But I would like to ask Vlad, why does he ask black men that our black children look up to questions that are not beneficial to the safety of the men that are answering these questions, and it's not beneficial to our culture to even hear these type of questions. Hearing about your favorite rapper's criminal history is not beneficial when you got kids looking up to him. So I don't see him asking other white athletes the same questions that he asks these black brothers that they keep coming on the show, asking the same questions, like how much money did you spend, how many girls did you buy, did you and your friends have guns? Like, these questions don't need to be asked, and they don't need to be answered.
What we doing, man, right now? What we just a police line up or something? When I get booked in, they want to do all the same thing he doing right now.
Same thing.
Yeah, they want no tattoos. They want no. Damn.
I feel you. How many cars you got these days, man? You a car aficionado?
Well, I tell you, this is police shit. Hey, Russell, don't you send nobody over here, man. Do some police interrogation shit. I'm telling you.
If you guys are gonna go on a show and make a fool out of yourself like that, go on Willie D. He's a part of our culture. It's hip hop. He can understand you, and there's certain questions he's not gonna ask you. But I just don't understand why we say it's Wakanda, but the two people who are running our urban situation is Vlad TV and Adam 22. That just don't make much sense to me. When you have black people doing the same thing, you got Say Cheese TV, you got all these guys. You got what's his name? God dang it, I just been texting the dude. Not texting him, but Big Ant. You got Big Ant down there in Houston. I just don't understand, why does your story need to be told on these two particular platforms? And then you get asked these questions. It's like the HBCUs versus the university. Now that you have HBCUs that can pool their money and do certain things, and you can get these athletes likeness up now, you got a different situation. So you don't have to go on these platforms, especially platforms that's gonna make you look in a certain light. I just don't see the purpose of it. It's not beneficial to our culture. It's not. So Vlad, I would like to ask, the only type of white men that you interview are white men that are already allegedly snitches or allegedly mob bosses or former mob bosses. And white America don't look at them as normal white America. They're not the heroes in their neighborhood. The heroes in their neighborhoods are the bankers, the businessmen, the fathers. I don't see you asking those type of men the same questions that you ask the heroes in the black community. So I would like for you to tell me how that's beneficial. You'll ask a man who get out of jail for killing somebody, whether he did it in self-defense or not, you'll ask this man about this question, you'll ask him questions about it on TV, and then the family has to see the way this man answered these questions. And in our culture, once you put a camera in front of us, most of us got to peacock a little bit, so it comes across as if he may be bragging or he may show no remorse for the actual death. And now you have family members watching a black man on TV talking about the murder of their loved one. So then that person has unknown enemies out in the streets. And sometimes that person ends up dead or in jail. And so we have to start being careful of the images that we keep portraying us as black men. Because I like to say, Vlad, that I've never seen the type of killing that the police are doing on any other race than a black man. An off-duty cop just hit a guy, allegedly, jumped out the car and killed him in Georgia. So I've never seen these things done to any other. George Floyd got kneeled on for over 8 minutes. I never seen these type of things happen to any other race of men besides us. And I think the reason why some of these things are happening is because the images that your show and many other shows and many other movies, they portray a certain image of a black male. And that's violent, that's aggressive, that's killers, that's going to jail. I think you should show a little more black boy magic. I think you should show some black males that are doing different things, so that the white police officer that's always somehow afraid of black men, and I think that's because the imagery that's being placed in his head, the white man won't be so afraid of black men because they'll see normal, everyday black men like themselves and stop putting out the same demonic image of a black man. Now, if you disagree, I would like to hear your response, but I just don't see the focus in any other culture but our culture on gangs and jail and the drug story. How many drug stories do we need to hear as black folks? We heard them one, we done heard them all. I think it's time to give these kids a different story, because our culture keeps telling us, leading us down the same path, and that path is not good. You don't do it to any other race. Now, if I'm wrong, I would like for you to tell me, but I think I'm absolutely right. You guys have monetized the imagery of black males, and we've aided and abetted in that sin, because a lot of these black men went up there because it's a bag involved. That's why I say it's always about money. It's beneficial to come on your show. If I would have went on your show, I'd have got 4 million eyes upon me, which some of those subscribers, with the way I talk, I know they would have came over here. So it's lucrative to do it. But I just don't do everything for money. And a lot of men are making the decisions based on money. And I said it was all about money. But I also said it wasn't all about money to me. And I think I keep proving that. But I still think, if you care, I think you've made enough money. I still think you got money that you making outside of Vlad TV. So you can change up how you're asking these black men these questions. And I think it can lessen the targets that you put on these men back. I remember it was a scary feeling that I heard you ask Mo 3, why does he stay in Houston or wherever he was from, God rest the dead. And he said, ain't nobody chasing me up the street, ain't nobody looking for me. And I had to hear that interview, and then I had to find out how he died. And that's exactly how he died. He got chased up the street, exactly what he was saying in your interview. So I just wish that these interviews about all this violence and all this stuff just stop, because this is enough is enough. Enough is enough. So that's my spiel. Hopefully you guys answer my question. I've been asking a lot of people a lot of questions. I went on Twitter and I asked YouTube, why are you guys shadow banning my page so much? Why can't I get certified or verified on Twitter or Instagram? You know, what's going on with my YouTube? Like, every video is limited. Like, what's up? Wasn't even cursing in my last video. I'm not cursing in this video, but it's still going to be limited. So I don't think these guys want to answer my questions. What they want to do is defame and keep talking. Told you what they do. They read from the same script. They try to discredit the man. They've been trying to discredit me this whole time. They've been saying I'm angry about basketball. I've been talking about everything else but basketball. But everything they want to keep, put this ball in your mouth, boy. Not an apple. Just put this ball in your mouth. Shut up. We don't want to hear you talk about nothing else. Shut up and dribble to eat this basketball. It's the only thing I'm good for in the world is basketball, I guess. And the fact that I didn't play well at it, I guess, and that means everything I say is wrong. But this word bus is just supposed to be about basketball, a game that I currently do not play. I think this word bus was intended and created to defame and discredit a person, because it sticks with you. Things that just was for that time, and when you did something, it don't stick with you. It falls by the wayside. This word bus keeps somehow sticking with me, even as a 39-year-old retired person. So that's kind of weird. It doesn't mean it's about basketball at this point. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave you at that. And I'm hoping at some point these mainstream media guys just answer one of my questions. I think these questions are logical questions. I think it's time out for all the name calling and shaming. I think I deserve to know why Stephen A. was at those colleges and why it never happened to anybody else. I think I deserve to know. Well, I don't have to deserve to know about the whole Vlad TV situation, but he responded to me and I responded to him. Didn't curse at him, didn't do none of that, because that's what they expected. I just really want to know why he asks black males these type of questions with no other race. And if he so chooses to answer, he can come over and answer my question. That'll be great. But I highly doubt it.